One Piece has over 1,000 chapters, and not a single one of them lacks in quality. Well, except Davy Back. Fuck Davy Back. But for the overwhelming majority of the series, the quality never dips down drastically. However, the same could not be said for the inverse. There are many incredibly standout chapters in this series, whether that's due to exhilarating hype, emotional tension, or a mix of both. But my personal pick for the absolute best chapter involves my favorite character, Sanji. Ironically enough, despite me saying that, Sanji is one of those characters that unfortunately grew off me post time skip. He was just so fucking annoying. All of his interactions were just simpy as shit. It was unbearable. And basically everything I liked about his character kind of just faded away. But everything changed when Whole Cake Island came around, and within that arc is chapter 844, Luffy versus Sanji. When Sanji gets his ass beat by his brothers, Raiju, his sister, asks him why he would ever want to return to a place he never wanted to remember. In other words, why would Sanji return to a home that hated his entire being? It's a question he never answers, but it's quite clear when you examine his scuffle between his captains. Sanji here betrays Luffy and the Straw Hats. He claims that his status as a prince of the German kingdom is wasted with the likes of such miserable, inferior pirates, and that he would be happier with the Big Mom pirates, who are just more powerful than the Straw Hats. He goes even farther when he says that he thinks Luffy doesn't have what it takes to become the pirate king. Even Nami, who has seduced Sanji through sheer appearance on multiple occasions, is met by a stone cold stare. The Sanji we know would have never said any of this, much less strike his defenseless captain. Obviously, to anyone who's read up to this point, he is just clearly spouting bullshit. But it's the reasons behind both Sanji's cruel act and Luffy's unrelenting endurance that makes this chapter so fucking compelling. And to explain Sanji's actions, we have to examine his character. And what better place to do that than the arc he was introduced in, Baratie. The big bad of the arc, Don Krieg, is defeated, and Luffy invites Sanji to join the crew. However, he is still incredibly hesitant about joining, despite his dream of finding All Blue aligning with Luffy's dream to become the Pirate King. So why doesn't he want to join, you ask? Well, the arc might make you think that it is out of fear because of Gin's last speech about fears and hesitations, but that's just not the case. Sanji is still reluctant to go with the Straw Hats, not out of fear, but because he still feels like he owes something to Zeff. And that is the crux of Sanji's character to me, and the reason why 844 is so fucking powerful. Sanji's defining character trait is his heart of pure gold. His compassion, his loyalty, and knows no bounds, which is a double-edged sword. On one hand, he's probably the most heroic character in the series, who's willing to save anyone, even his own scornful, abusive family. But on the other hand, he's prone to sacrificing himself in every scenario, not realizing the pain he puts on his loved ones. Going back to that Baratie example, he can't, for the life of him, comprehend the fact that he has paid off his debt to Zeff a long time ago. It's the classic example of selfish selflessness. He puts on a facade to push away the crew in order to protect them, because Sanji does not fear losing his own life, but the lives of his loved ones. However, this idea is not shared with everyone, because although Sanji views himself as expendable to Zeff, Luffy, and the entirety of the Straw Hats, he is simply irreplaceable. He doesn't want to put them in harm's way, not realizing that they themselves don't want him in harm's way. He would rather sacrifice his own happiness as a Straw Hat and leave them than jeopardize their safety for even a second. I love the irony of Sanji claiming to have been lying to the Straw Hats about his heritage, but simultaneously putting on that front of the egotistical and boastful prince. Luffy's line about Sanji feeling all the pain that he inflicted had me in tears. He might look unemotional, but harming his captain fucking kills him. The many callbacks to Baratie planted in between the ass beating is what I interpret as Sanji's true emotions trying to bubble out, but just like Luffy here, he beats and pushes them down. In a way, this fight reminds me a bit of Sasuke, in the sense that they both try to cut ties with their loved ones while refusing to show their true emotions. Sanji's love for food was shunned by the Vinsmokes, but deeply and genuinely cherished by the Straw Hats, and Luffy refusing to eat anyone else's cooking but his is fucking beautiful. Luffy in this scene made me love his character even more than I already did. Not even for a second has he even entertained the thought of Sanji betraying the crew. The level of love and trust you need to have to willingly get your ass beat is immeasurable. And those last few lines are possibly my favorite pieces of dialogue in the entire series. Without you, I cannot become the Pirate King. And yeah, Sanji's character is explored with so much emotional depth that it's impossible not to call this my favorite chapter of One Piece. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.